Happy Valentine's Day. Hope everyone is having a great day. Here is my list of the top 7 most romantic vampire films. These films are based on romantic story, performance, and pop culture impact. The clips you're about to see are the edited trailers. I will talk about the setups of the films and try not to reveal the ending spoilers, but just be warned just in case. Number 7. Near Dark, one of the first films of Kathryn Bigelow. The story is about a farm boy from a small town named Caleb, who meets an attractive, young, mysterious drifter named May. Soon after, May's group of psychotic vampires arrive, and Caleb is forced to join them. Caleb becomes a reluctant vampire in training, along with the romance between Caleb and May. It becomes a lot more difficult. Number 5. The Hunger, an 80s classic starring David Bowie and Susan Sarandon. The story is about Miriam, a vampire, that finds out her longtime vampire companion, John, played by David Bowie, has been rapidly aging. Miriam sets out to find a new companion. John seeks the help of Sarah, a human and the only doctor who might be able to restore his youth, which also attracts Miriam to Sarah, creating a love triangle between the three that's set to self-destruct. Number 4. The Thirst. Sang-yeon is a priest that works in a hospital. He, along with several volunteers, selflessly to take part in a secret experimental vaccine intended to cure a deadly disease. Many of the other volunteers die in the process. The priest survives by taking an emergency transfusion. The vaccine was supposed to cure a newly awakened by his carnal desires. The priest falls in love with an unhappy hospital and turns her into a vampire. They both embark in a passionate romance. However, both have conflicts on how to take blood. Number 3. Let the Right One In. The story is about a young boy named Oscar who is continuously bullied by his classmates. Oscar meets a young girl named Ellie, appearing to be around his age, but only comes out at night. It's an immediate connection between these two lonely kids. From there, Ellie teaches Oscar how to stand up for himself. Oscar begins to have self-confidence until he finds out that Ellie is more than just human. She's a vampire. A childhood romance and a coming-of-age movie, as both participants decide to look after each other for possibly the rest of their lives. Number 2. The Twilight Series. Whatever you might feel about the Twilight Series, it's about teen love and finding your right soulmate. Imagine how awful it would be to spend an entirety in high school, repeating every few years because you don't age. Well, that's Edward Cullen. At least the other Cullens had significant others. That is where Edward met Bella. From there, it was instant chemistry. However, finding each other and being together is a lot more difficult than expected. As Bella was human, there was also a werewolf that attracted her attention and many other beings that wanted to kill. Number 1. Bram Stoker's Dracula. Bram Stoker's Dracula is directed by Francis Ford Coppola, and it's one of my favorite vampire films. A true Romeo and Juliet gothic love story so strong that it transcends centuries to reunite two souls. The story begins with Vlad Dracula as a faithful knight of the church, as he suffers his most beloved. Consumed with rage, he renounces God and declares he will rise from the grave with all the powers of the darkness to avenge his beloved. After finding out his beloved may have reincarnated as Mina, he pursues her. So, do you guys have a different list, or perhaps maybe a film I didn't include? I'd love to hear about other romantic vampire films and why you believe they should be on this list. For more original in vampire, science fiction, fantasy, and virtual reality films, please subscribe to my channel by clicking